brains, one cell, two brains, one cell, two brains, one cell, two brains, one cell.
Hey. Damn, we're on it.
That was great.
This is what happens when we spend like 4 hours with each other before. It's only been like 2.
Welcome back. Two Brains, One Cell, episode 76.
It feels like we haven't recorded in a long time, but it's...
We didn't record last week, and we just recorded, the Sunday before that?
Yeah.
And that was it?
Was it Sunday or Monday?
Sunday, because I edited
That's right. Yeah,
right after that.
you did do that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I haven't done fuck all or jack shit, but Carsen's got a notebook of stuff he did in Pennsylvania, so we'll get to that.
I also got this for you.
Oh, he got me.
We got matching ones.
Fuck yeah, that's going on with the
Baltimore.
the paper bomb.
It's nothing special, and I did it on the
it's
airport when I was leaving.
You thought about me, and I came a little.
Yeah, well, there was a couple of them, and I was like, I could get him this or this or this, and then I was like, you know what? Who knows when the fuck you'll go to Baltimore? So
Fucking never.
It's like I'm
never going to Baltimore. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, I can whip out the book. First
Episode 76, guys.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
76. I love the confusion in the last couple of episodes where we were like, is this 74, 75?
It takes us about 0.2 seconds to figure it out. We just don't want to.
Red Bull.
Hard.
Yeah, hard.
Same.
Me
I'm
when.
not even talking in the mic.
Me when. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, that's Arizona. That's the Arizona trip. Okay.
That's the acid trip.
Oh, that's the acid trip. All right. So, this journey starts on Tuesday, August 14th? No, 15th. August 15th. Yeah, August 15th. All right. 4 a.m. I woke up. I got to...
What time did you go to bed, Carsen?
I don't remember.
It was like 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah, because I texted you. I was like, I
Yeah.
got to wake up in like 3 hours.
Yeah, I get a snap in the morning, and it's just him up when he really should not have been. It's like, I got to wake up soon.
Yeah. And, hell yeah. I got through...
Right with the paper bomb.
I got through security super fast.
Good.
And the gate that I got to...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the same gate as the one from Arizona.
Wait, for real?
It was the exact same one. It was the same guy that got our ticket thing and everything.
Huh.
And
I'm
was
impressed
sitting,
that you remember.
I was sitting right under the Southwest thing that we were in, that thing too, and I almost took a picture to be like, where are you? Wait, I'm going back to Arizona.
Imagine you were wearing the same shit.
The same outfit. It was so funny. And so, I sat down and was like, that Maverick thing's around the corner where we went and bought our shit. And so I went over there and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get a single water. And I'm going to try and not have to take a piss every 5 seconds on the plane.
Yeah.
So I get on the plane and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get towards the back like we did because like the bathrooms, there's 2 bathrooms on that one. And I was like, if I'm in the back, I can get up and go if I please. And I don't have to worry about people, blah, 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 And I was like, I have to get off the plane in Colorado anyway because that's where we're going to fly me into Denver. And I was like, so who cares where I sit? So I go to the back, sit down, and the 2 seats next to me were empty. The plane was not full at all. So I was able to, like, instead of being straight with the seat,
just turn.
I was able to just turn and kick my legs out to the side, and I put my backpack and shit up there. Like, it was so nice. And, then I started, this is where the jokes with the plane stuff started.
That was funny as shit.
Nobody at all slid up on any of these that I
What?
posted. No one even acknowledged them. And it started with, where am I going? And that was at the airport. Yeah, see, that's the Southwest sign that we were under.
Yeah.
I said, where am I going? And then the next one was, made some new friends. They decided to sit next to me on the plane, and it was completely empty.
Love that.
And then the one after that was, the picture of the salt flats, and I said, they flew my ass to the moon. The fuck? Someone tell Frank Sinatra I'm living his dream.
That one was good.
It's so good.
So
and it looks like the moon.
It's so good. Hey, flew too high.
Yeah, I know. And I took another one where it's just that, too, and it really looks
Yeah.
like I'm up there on the moon.
You up there.
I'm up there on the moon.
You up there on the moon. Fly me to the moon.
And so I get to Denver, and remember, I was like, I think I have to sit in the Denver airport for like 3 hours before I board the next
Yeah.
flight.
No.
I was there for like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And so it was almost 2 hours is what I wrote down. And so we start boarding, and we're boarding late. They're like, sorry, we're having issues. This is a completely full flight to Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they're like, and we're having a weight issue, so you guys, anyone that has roller bags needs to check the bags.
All you fat motherfuckers need to get on the scale.
And people aren't checking them. They're just like, well, mine's fine. Mine's fine. And everyone's got these roller bags. And I'm like, how the fuck does everyone in here have one, but none of them are checking them?
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where they're like, all right, that was last call. We're going to have to stop you when you get your ticket, like when we scan your ticket, and we're going to have to put you, like, we're going to check your bag. Like, there's no choice at this point. And so I was like, good for fuck yeah. Let's go there.
Plant your feet on the fucking ground.
So we leave late, and it is full as fuck. And I believe on this flight,
Got motherfuckers standing there holding the handrails like a subway.
yeah. Taking turns standing in the bathroom out of the way.
Yeah.
So I was in the back, and I was on an aisle seat on this one so that I had more room for my feet.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Nice.
So I thought in my eyes, because that's the thing, is like when you get the window seat, you get the window. And you get a lean on the window, and then the middle seat gets both of the armrests. Unless people are fucking bitches. And then the end seat gets more leg room because of the aisle, right? That wasn't the case. I had less leg room, and the aisle didn't help.
Okay.
And so I was just, my legs they felt like they were going to do this thing where, like, those metal, like, wires or whatever that are, like, curled up, and then when you put it in hot water, it straightens out or something like that. You take it out.
That's my boss.
Should we stop the recording? So, fuck, I left my phone over there, too.
We're doing great.
Oh, take
Ow.
that. Fuck you. Take that, bitch. That picture of you on that camera roll.
Fucking.
All right.
At one point, I need to explain the phone call I got earlier.
So, so I get that aisle seat, and I'm just having a shit time. I have no room. My legs feel, what I was explaining is when that metal piece straightens out, when it put it in the heat and whatever, it felt like my legs were going to do that just on their own. Like, it was bent for so long that it felt like it was just going to...
Felt like a doctor was about to do your reflexes, but with, like, a jackhammer.
No, it just felt like my knees, no matter what, were going to move and stay straight out.
Nice.
Like, there was no choice. My legs were going to do that. And so... we fly into Cincinnati, and this time I don't have to get into the airport. They're just like, we're going to count everyone staying with us, then you can move wherever you want the plane. So I was like, shit, yeah, that means I can go very front if I want.
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe not the very front because, there's like disabled people or, families with children and stuff. They might want to sit together. So I was like, I'll go like 5 rows from the front.
Yeah.
And so I was explaining with the Snapchat stuff. I landed in Denver, so I was like, where am I going? And I put Denver. And then I landed Cincinnati, and I go, Cincinnati? And then I sent you a snap that said, bro, I'm in Ohio.
Yeah.
And then followed with that. Something's got my legs.
So fucking good.
And so I'm now window seat. And the person that was talking on the thing on the plane before everyone boarded was like, this is not even like a halfway full flight. Like, this is a very, 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 like, little amount of people going to be on this flight. So, y'all can space out, choose where you want to sit, and, like, do your thing. And so I was like, oh, shit, yeah.
Nice.
And so, like I said, I got window seat, 5 rows from the front, and some very pretty tattooed lady comes and sits next to me. And she goes, can I sit here? And I go, yeah, sure, yeah.
You can sit here.
And so she just takes the aisle seat and leaves that middle seat so it's not, like, weird,
It would have been hilarious if she did that.
She just sits next to me, and then the other one's open.
She puts her backpack on that one.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know. Talk about this airplane food, am I right?
For real.
And so she was very pretty, and it took everything in me not to be like, hey, you want a sticker?
You should have.
So let's see. Got to keep this on track here. Pretty lady, one seat in between us, and then I started the funny, shit, I dropped the vape thing, and then the I know a spot, Batty Island.
Yup.
And then I took this picture of a rainbow.
Oh, that's very
just
pretty.
out in the middle of the water.
Yeah.
And then the golf course, watching me hit this hole in one.
Yeah, that was good.
And then I landed in Baltimore and took a picture and said, or Baltimore. And I text my dad. I'm like, hey, I just landed. I'm going to head out to the street pickup. And he was like, sweet. I'm just parked on the freeway, like off the side of like a thing.
He's just on
And
like
he's
a busy ass freeway.
He's in the middle of it too, so it's all
Good one.
going right past
You
him.
gotta
and
play
everything.
fucking Frogger to get to
Yeah.
him.
And so he was like, how long do you think till you get there? And I was like, frankly, dude, I don't know this airport. I have no idea. And he goes, that's fair.
Yeah.
He's like, you got me there. And I was like, yeah. And then moments later, I go, oh, this one. And I'm like, I'm under F15 or something like that, whatever pillar. And so he was like on it. So he starts heading towards me, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, wonder if I could put a sticker anywhere. And so I'm looking around to see if anyone has done that. And there was a sign right behind me that had 2 stickers on it. And I was like, I'm going to go put a sticker on that thing.
Put a sticker on this one.
So me trying to be discreet about it, I like take the sticker off. I'm looking around, making sure no one's like eyeing me or anything. And I just walk up and go like this and put the sticker on. But my rings are loud as shit. So it goes bing against the fucking sign, and I slide my hand down it to smooth it out, and then turn around and 2 people are staring at me, and I'm like, fuck. But that's the picture. You can see it right there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so then we're just kind of talking back and forth, telling him about the flight, telling him just, catching up a little bit. And we go see my sisters, and which one of them was at a pizzeria. And they had no idea.
How old are they now?
One of them's 14, and I can't remember what Caitlin's age is, but she's younger. I think she's. I don't know. But so I go see the older one, and I get in there, and she has no idea. She's facing the other direction, and she turns around, and she sees me, and she kind of like looks away, and then like everything hits while she's looking away, and looks back at me and goes, oh my God. And then I walk over, and I give her a big ol' hug, and I was like, hey.
Hey.
And I was like, did you know I was coming? She was like, no, I had no idea. And I was like, good, Dad didn't spoil it. And I look over at him like, you little shit.
Motherfucker.
Because I don't know if I mentioned it. He said it right in front of the younger sister in the car one time. We were at FaceTime on my birthday, and he was like, yeah, so when you come out here. And I'm sitting there going, dude, no. And then he's like, oh, shoot, your sister's in the back seat. And he's like, I guarantee she didn't hear anything. She's just sucked into her phone right now. And I was like, really? Like, she didn't hear any of that? And he goes, I bet you she didn't. And so we go.
At least he knows his kids.
Yeah, we take the older sister, and we go over to where my little sister's doing cheer, and she's out in the field doing her thing, so we're all 3 just catching up. And then we go, and she gets done with cheer, she walks over to her teacher, and whenever someone comes to pick up one of their kids, the kid has to identify, like, hey, that's my parent or whatever, and then they go with them.
Thank God.
Yeah. So we're walking over, and I'm, like, doing the steady walk, and she's out in the field, and I'm walking just kind of this way, and she goes, and she just looks right at me, and then looks away, and her eyeline drifts right back to me again, and then looks away. And
Not
then
a
back to
thought
me again.
behind those
She
eyes.
has no idea. She's locked eyes with me 3 times now. No clue. Cannot fucking. I just not registering for her.
Yeah.
And so I am directly in front of her within like a 20-foot thing, but I am directly in line. And she finally like looks over at me and then goes. And then it kind of catches, and then she starts like moving like frantically, like
Just like a dog that doesn't know what to do.
yeah. And so then she starts tapping the teacher's shoulder to like let her know, and the teacher's talking to someone, so she's sitting there going like this and like just smacking her arm, and then she finally looks down at her like kind of like a what, and then she points, and she just like points over at us, and she goes okay, and then like my sister takes off running, and she comes over to me, and I just go boom and catch her, and I'm like, hey.
You sound like Kevin Hart. No, you sound like The Rock doing a Kevin Hart impression.
Well, that's what I was doing.
Oh,
They're
okay.
really big fans, so I thought.
That's right. No, I thought he was a rock.
It's not just a boulder. It's a rock.
Sorry.
And then we went back to the pizzeria, had a little bit of pizza, talking a little bit. Then me and my dad went back to his place, and he showed me the house that he lives in and everything.
That
which
place is cool as
fucking
fuck.
sick, right?
I thought you were joking.
No, he actually lives in a church.
Yeah. He sent me this picture, and I'm like, he's like, Dad lives here. And I'm like, yo, tell your dad his place is sick. Just
Right,
as
because
he's like,
it was a picture of just the bell tower.
yeah. And then Carson's like, no. He lives there.
And then I took that further back picture, and you can see like the whole thing where it cuts in the middle of the church and all of the doors and everything.
Yep.
So sick. And he has the biggest one out of all of them. And so looking at that picture, you wouldn't expect there to be an upstairs with 3 bedrooms and a bathroom.
I wouldn't expect there to be anything.
Right. And then a basement that's the size of the upper floor.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. And so that house is so
Nuts?
cool. Nuts? I was nuts once.
Dog balls?
And so he showed me around. He's got this big old picture of me from my graduation pictures on his wall. And he's got like a lot of stuff, just fun little things that were like...
It'd be so funny if he just like changed the entire place because you were coming over.
Yeah.
Like every picture is you.
Yeah.
Everything. Like
If I wouldn't
the
have...
rug is your face.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking great.
If I wouldn't have like seen it in FaceTimes and pictures and stuff, he could have done that and I wouldn't have even known.
Yeah.
And so there was a door in that picture too that's like on his side, and it blew my mind because I was like, "Where's that door?" Because I don't remember seeing that in the house, and there's no one that lives behind you.
Where does it lead to?
Where does that door go? And I asked him, and he was like, "Oh, that's my back door." I was like, "Back door?" I was like, "That your kitchen's right here. How is that your back door?" And he goes, "Go look." And I go in there and I look around the corner, and it's just hidden by one of those like those shelves that you can move.
Oh.
That's like the big old metal ones with the wheels on the bottom. And I just look at it, and you can see the door right there, and he's just blocking it with that shelf. And I was like, "Why don't you use this door?" This would be like the parking lot is right there. You could park and go directly.
Good one. Do you want to take a $5 after that?
You could go directly. You could go directly into the house after parking.
Do we need to make a cut so I can suck your dick?
But he was like, it's just people park there, and it's hard for me to get there first to park there and all that. And I was like, fair enough, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
And then we go.
But why not leave the option open? Like,
yeah. Then we go to Park Tavern, which was this little bar.
I know. I loved seeing every time you posted. It was a different fucking
different bar, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
I know. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, anybody that sees my stories probably thinks I'm doing a bar crawl and I'm just getting fucked up.
yeah.
But what really happened was
Well, what happened was
is that like my dad's barred from a lot of bars out there, so he can't go in. Legally, he is not allowed to be into these bars. So, I would like this one. He wasn't barred from, so he was like, and this one's like really close to his house. He had a bunch that were right next to his house. The amount of bars that were in this tiny town were insane.
anywhere,
So
just
many.
not Utah.
Yeah, it was so many, and so like there was like 5 within walking distance of his house.
Damn.
And so we would go like over to Park, and that one had pool tables, and so
Yeah, I live on Main Street, Clearfield, and I probably still have a good 5-minute drive to a bar.
yeah, there used to be one right next to my house before it burnt down, but
Yeah.
that's so sad.
I
I had
kinda-
it pop up the other day on my memories when I like screenshot the pictures of it because they did pool tournaments.
I really wanted to go to that one, and it sucks. I saw it burning. I already told this story, but yeah.
So sad. But we play pool, and I go over, and I think we got me a banquet.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And played some pool, and he was like, I later found out he was worried that I was going to be better than him at pool because I would talk myself up because we played at Ricky's all the time, and I beat the fuck out of everyone at Ricky's house.
Yeah.
And so
he
that
just didn't realize that we all suck.
well, and it's on a table that's been beat to shit and never taken care of.
yeah.
So like playing on that table versus playing on one that's built for like league players and stuff, I would hit the ball and you would see it ricochet 18 times, and I'd be like, "Whoa, pinball!
Too much power.
And he noticed that. He was like, "I noticed you hit that with way too much speed." And I'm like, "I'm not used to a table that has a good table. I'm not
Yeah.
used to a good table."
I used a good table. That was a horrible thing.
Okay, so not used to these tables, and I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm saying like, holy shit, I'm not used to this table.
I just want to. I don't know why it's funny to me. That was instantaneous for you guys, but like just him sitting down, fucking table, just out the gate.
And so I'm getting frustrated because I'm not making very good shots, and I know that I can. Like, I know I've made these shots before, and I think he's aware of it too because I'm going for these shots that are like, well, that was really close and a wildly hard shot to make, but he got so close. That is weird.
Yeah.
And there were shots where I would go and I would like bank it off of something and then smack it and it would just boop right in. Boop. And he would sit there and be like, that's like the best way to hit that type of situation in. He's like kind of trying to debate like what the fuck is going on, and I'm sitting there like, I know I can play good.
I can do better.
What is going on?
Come on.
And then it got to the point where so I guess I should bring this up now. It is a very small town. Like, everybody knows everyone kind of town. And so the fact that my dad used to be a bouncer at one of their bigger bars and pool halls, and that everyone just knows everyone, he would talk about me a lot. And on top of my music stuff and the podcast stuff, I became a little bit of like a small celebrity.
Yeah.
So when I would show up, if he saw anyone he would notice, he'd be like, hey, over here.
Oh, come here.
And then they would be like, hey, how you doing, man? What's up? And then he'd be like, it's my son. And they'd be like, whoa.
I've never met your father. I can see him doing exactly that.
It's my son.
My son.
And then they'd be like, whoa, holy shit. And then they'd look at the both of us and be like, that's your son. And they'd be like, how you doing? And like all this kind of stuff. And
That's my
like,
son. Damn right.
And then he'd be like, he just turned 21. And they'd be like, whoa, happy birthday. A round of shots on me. And I'd be like, fuck.
Your dad's a genius.
Oh, dude, we had so many free drinks because he kept doing that. So many. Even the last night that I was there, he was like, hey, how you doing? And then they were like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. And he's like, look, guess who's here? My son. Last night here. And they're like, oh, my gosh. And they're like, you guys look so alike, whatever. And then we go sit down next to them. And then they were like, what's your drink? Which is the most often, like, the question they would ask the most is, what's your drink? And I'd be like, fuck if I know, I just turned 21.
Anything I don't have to pay for.
And that I would tell, like, the people that I would have a good enough conversation with, I'd be like, well, I'm used to being, like, the high school kid where, you know, whatever we could get, you know, our hands on, a little bit of Malibu, a little bit of, like...
See, my favorite kind of alcohol is Opa.
Opa.
Other people's alcohol.
Yeah. And so I was like, anything but this basic generic shit that we would get in high school, I'm down for it. I'll try anything as long as it's cold. And unless it's presented hot. Like when they light them on fire.
It's like only if it's cold and they just bring out butane.
Yeah. And they're like, fuck. So then my dad would just be like, he's a banquet guy. And he'd be like, banquet. And then they would get me a banquet or something like that. But anyway, we play pool. I meet up with this guy, and I'm telling him about, like a lot of the topics were between, like, what I'm doing with my life, how it is in Utah, and how my dad is and what he's been up to. They like to update me. And I'm like, I'm aware of his shenanigans of bad choices that this guy makes. Like, there's fun shenanigans, and then there's the stupid shit that my dad does. And I'm like...
That should just be a category.
Stupid shit
my dad does.
Is that on the board? Bing! Number one.
Let's go. 100 out of 100.
Getting barred from how many bars? 5? Bing!
Correct.
Like, just fucking Family Feud with all of the stupid shit my dad's done.
How many times did he piss himself last night?
Bing!
4!
And I gotta say, with a lot of these conversations, when you go out of state and these people are asking you about your state, it is hard to talk about Utah.
Yeah.
It's weird being embarrassed of your own state and your own people that live in the state. Because of the, you know, everyone's like, oh, you're Mormon out there. How's all your wives doing?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, Mary and Elizabeth and Janet, they're all doing great.
Yeah,
but
going along with that bit has got to be insane. It's like, oh, you're wearing like 4 wedding rings.
I just put all of these on my one finger.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I'm not necessarily trying to defend my state because I'm shitting on it, but I'm embarrassed that I live there.
Yeah.
So it was a very weird switch for me where they're like, yeah, what's it like living in Utah? And I'm like, It's pretty.
It is. Yeah, it's insanely pretty here.
It's very pretty, very pretty. That's about
That's
it.
about it.
That's about
Yeah, that's all we got.
And then they're like, do you ski or snowboard? And I'm like, nah, I'm one of the only motherfuckers that doesn't. And
I got one thing about Utahns just being fucking stupid. I'll explain more of this to you later because I actually got genuinely mad at this person. But they posted something very just... Someone had their car running while they were pumping gas. Nope. Here's the Utah thing. That's normal.
No.
Leaving your car on while you pump gas is normal. In like places like Alaska, you have to keep your car on. Otherwise, it won't turn back on.
Right. That's a good point.
And
That's weird.
Utahns are the idiots.
Yeah.
It's like, apparently a worker came and explained to the guy, he's like, oh, haven't heard of that. And the person that was posting this was making fun of that. I'm like, no, you realize you're the idiot.
I think both cases are the idiot. If you don't have to, don't do it. But if you need to like keep your car running, then you just keep it running. But
Yeah.
just know that
It's just, people, like, we think we're going to explode and die.
Yeah.
If that happened, it would be a fucking law.
Yeah, true.
They would make it so you can't take your gas cover off without the car being off.
Yeah.
Fucking morons. Sorry, go ahead.
So, we like I said, it's weird just trying to defend the state and like
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and like being embarrassed that I live somewhere. Like I feel like if you live anywhere else, and they're like, "Well, what's it like living in Idaho?" and you're like, "Oh, it's nice, you know, it's
Potatoes.
Idaho. I got a lot of
Yeah.
potatoes, blah blah blah," and that's it. But when it's Utah, it's just like there's no.
Oh,
way.
you're Mormon and you fuck multiple women. I'm like, first off, I fuck 0.
Zero women actually.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to defend, but well, not even defend. It's just hard to deal with, honestly.
Yeah. As soon as someone starts shitting on Utah, it's like, I don't want to join them because it's my home, but like I have no rebuttal
Yeah.
at all.
So
That's a good one. That's a good rebuttal.
So play pool, we get beers, we have some shots, and like some drunk guy next to us was coming up to me and he's like, "Yeah, me and your dad are buddies. We met down at this bar," and he's like, "You got to come down there, man. Thursday night, shots or your drinks are on me."
Your dad
Anything
is
you
just
want,
like,
drinks
I don't
on me.
fucking know this guy.
Well, he knew him. Well, because my dad, even if he remotely someone said that, he'd be like, "Yeah," and then he'd try and rope him into giving us free drinks.
Yep.
So it would be like he would be like, "Yeah, you know, we got to go down to the Wolf's Den." He's like, "That's my joint down there, man. Like all the drinks are on me. Thursday night, let's play pool, let's have drinks." And he's just it's very like ecstatic, and he's like he just had like long black hair, like he was older but completely black hair. And he was just going with it. He kept doing this thing where he kept dapping me up every couple of seconds. He'd be like, "Yeah, man, it's on me." And he'd go like
Dude,
this, and I'd be like, "Okay."
Drunk dudes love dapping people
And
up.
he was a lot older, so I was not expecting him to just keep going for it. So that was fucking
At
hilarious.
one point, you should just shoulder checked the fuck out of him.
He was gonna give me free drinks. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Dap me up again.
And so I talked to my dad's friend for a while. He talked about his son, and we talked about like living in a small town versus living in bigger places and all this kind of stuff. And I was telling him about like how funny it is going from where we live, which feels like there's no small town. It's just all different towns next to each other that are small.
Yeah.
Like we live in a small town, but there's a bunch of them next to us that's like
Salt Lake.
and it's just weird. So I was like, there's a lot of weird things going there, and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta move out." So we're just going through like just have a cool deep talk with him, and then my dad, when that guy was saying like, Thursday night, bring him over, let's get the shots or whatever, and he was like, he turns to me after that guy turns around and he goes, "We got plans with your sister on Thursday night, so you can't be doing that." And I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "That's fine. Like I way rather do that," but I was like, "Damn it, I got hype. I got hype."
I was ready.
And because my dad's not giving me an itinerary, he's not telling me what the fuck we're doing. Like,
It's just like, oh, by the way, now we're...
like our Saturday night was supposed to be like a secret,
oh.
and later on he
Did
goes,
it remain that?
kind of. It ended up not happening,
Oh.
but he gave it away without me even knowing, and then later on it didn't happen.
Oh, awesome.
And it was either going to be a strip club or a casino.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But so then I realized after we're kind of sitting around for a second, I go, I never posted where I was actually going from the airport shit. And so I was like, oh. And so like 4 hours later, I go, it was actually Waynesboro, or I said Waynesboro, and then I was like, it is Waynesboro, and like, it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And then we get back to his house and we watch this movie called Alita.
Is that about like the robot?
Yes.
Okay.
With the big eyes.
Yeah.
And everyone, yeah. And it was a really good movie.
Was it?
Yeah, they're making a second one.
Okay.
And I actually cannot wait because it was a sick as fuck movie.
Oh, yeah, it was like the battle robot or something.
Yeah, it was like the Battle Angel.
Yeah.
The lead of the Battle Angel or something like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing the ads for that.
Yeah. It was pretty good. It's worth
Okay.
checking out. And it feels like Real Steel vibes, you know, like
I never watched that.
you never watched that?
No.
It's just got these vibes where it's like that fun like the robot thing and you care about a robot and then there's like a whole story behind this specific robot.
Wall-E.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. Perfect.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck yeah. I want a movie of Wall-E beating the fuck out of other robots.
So we just started that and then like I fell asleep halfway through it. We both slept on the couches.
Nice.
And then the next day we go to this place called Breakaway 2, which is funny because there's a Breakaway 1, there's an original, and then there's 2.
Man, musicians thought they were the only ones that could make a part 2.
And so I went with Des, who is my sister's mom, who was like a stepmom for me for a while before my dad and her split.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun seeing her again. And she's just super cool because she's got all of her shit together. She's got everything going for her, and she's super fun.
Nice.
And so they met here, actually, at this pool place that's now closed down that was Guervo's Juice or something on Wall. Yeah, that used to be a pool hall, and it used to be all pink.
That's what it used to be?
Yeah. I have pictures of the
I
original.
have been wondering what the fuck that building is my whole life.
I've got pictures of the original and of what it is now. But yeah, so it was a pool hall, and I believe that's where my dad and her met, maybe. And
I hate that I knew exactly where that is. It's like after 20. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure
There's
is.
pool hall. It's got the all pink on the outside, and that's it now.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we were like, she was telling me stories about like all these different places. Like we were going back and forth the Utah stuff, and like we played pool, which she's really good at. My dad and her were both really good at pool.
Nice.
She had way more awards than my dad did. Like she would win, like just so good. And so I'm sitting there like this. I lost so badly to my dad, and this is gonna fucking suck.
This is gonna hurt
so bad, yeah. And she's like, "It's been a while, so I might not be doing the best."
He's
And I was like,
"Shut up."
It's been a little bit.
and so I hit quite a few of them in, and she's got like 6 of them left, and I am just kind of getting excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit, am I gonna get this? So she is just like, she's got probably like 4 or 5 left on the table, and I've got 2. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is looking all right, but I always fuck up on the 8 ball, so I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself here.
Fair.
And then she continues to just like I miss every time, and then she's hitting one in and then missing one, or hitting 2 in and missing one, or something like that. So she gets to the 8 ball, and I finally hit my ball in, and we're both, or no, I didn't even get to that. We finally get to the 8 ball. She wins,
Oh,
and I still had mine left on the table.
nice.
So I was like, fuck. And then we ordered wings, which they introduced me to Old Bay forever ago while I was out there, and it's so funny now seeing it in Utah. So many stores have it now, and like the Old Bay Goldfish
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
remember when you first started telling me about it. I had no
Yeah.
fucking clue.
that. And I put it on my mac and cheese and stuff like that, dude. So good. And we made crab fries when my dad was out here a couple years ago and stuff with
I
that.
still need to try those.
So good. And so we're talking about it, and they've got wings that have it on there, and I'm like, oh, sign me up.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to get 12, and she was going to get 6 mild or whatever, and so they get to the table, and the 12 come to me, and I'm like, start at 8-2, and I was like, maybe they just went a little light on the Old Bay. This is not like really that flavor. And then she comes down and sits down and goes to put one to her mouth, and she goes, are those mild? And I go, they might be.
Yeah.
She goes, because I think these ones are Old Bay, and so we switch, and I was like, I didn't even think about it. Like, I just started eating. I was so hungry. And then I
Well,
ate.
she got 6, you got 12, you got handed 12.
Yeah.
Right?
So I ate the rest of mine, and then she only ate a couple of hers, so I had a bunch of hers left to eat too. So it didn't really
Nice.
matter in the long run.
Yeah.
But so good. And we just talked about like my car stuff. We talked about like concerts, and like it was so fun being able to just sit down and just have a whole conversation with her now that I'm an adult,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have to be like, well, you're a kid.
She doesn't have to step around.
Yeah. So she can just tell me things, and I'm sure she was still stepping around a couple things, but like
It's kind of
it's
like
whatever.
what my mom started doing
Yeah.
a little. Just talking to me like a fucking adult finally.
And so we get done with that, and we go back to my dad's house, and we kind of get together, talk for a second, and then we go get ice cream.
You got ice cream
Ice
or
cream.
ice cream?
Ice cream.
It was that good?
And
how was it comparatively to Utah's? Same, or did it taste different?
it was better because it has actual farm,
Oh, yep,
I
that would do it.
I think. Or they have it shipped directly from the farm to them or something like that, like
Yeah.
because it's nearby. It's called Antietam Dairy, like something.
Okay.
And gotta say, them fireflies out there, bro. So goddamn pretty.
They're
Every time.
pretty as fuck.
Every time I go out there, I'm like, I gotta see one, and then we go. Just anytime at nighttime we go out, and I'm just like, damn, look at that. Look at that. Damn, look at that. Look at them little bugs.
He's flying?
Look at them little bugs doing that little fucking twinkly thing over there. And so then after that, we get ice cream. My sisters go with Dez. I go with my dad, and he takes me to Breakaway 1, which is where he is barred from, which is where he used to be a bouncer at.
How the fuck did
Dude,
you
he
mess up
died.
that
He
bad?
legitimately died in that parking lot before getting revived by like the people, like the EMTs and shit.
Was he getting fucked up?
He was majorly fucked up. And then there was other times where he
Was
got
he
in fist fights.
getting
There-
fucked up?
well, there's multiple instances. I can't even tell. But he's getting in fights. He's just people are picking fights with him. Like someone randomly like fucked up on something, came out of a bathroom and just smacked the shit out of his head, like the back of his head kind of thing, and just like he did a full wind up and just whack.
Yeah, that warrants an ass whooping.
Oh yeah, and so there was just like fights on fights and arguments and just all sorts of stuff. So he gets barred naturally, and so he's like, "You can go in there," and I was like, "Right, it doesn't transfer down to me, so I can go into this bar."
Being barred from bars doesn't follow genealogy.
Yeah, it doesn't just transfer down to me because I'm related to you, right?
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not
It would
hereditary.
have been so funny. I walk in, give him my ID. They're like, "You look like John." I'm like, "Well, don't." And then he's like, "Turn around."
Who's
Turn
that?
around.
he turns around. He's on your back like miles.
Fuck. So I go in there and I meet up with my dad's friend Roland and his friend Carter, and those guys, they had some drinks, all right?
Okay.
Roland was fucked up. And he's someone that you could talk to for hours because he's got a million stories. He was in the military. He was doing like crazy shit. And so I walk in there and we're like, "Yo!" And so we get in and they're like, "Let's get him a heavy." And I'm like, so they get me a heavy, and apparently this is supposed to be like a really, really heavily, like a lot of alcohol in this. It's supposed to get you fucked up on one drink, and it's like a cup of it, okay?
It's doesn't beat the Applebee's alcohol bucket.
And so we are sitting there, and I'm drinking mine, and I'm like, this is tasty. And
Oh,
so I
good.
end up done with mine very quickly, and does absolutely nothing to me.
They just put sparkling water.
And
in
they're
the cup.
both of them are like, "Damn, you finished that quick." And they're like, "How you feeling, buddy?" And I'm like, "Fine." And they're like, "That's a Kalunga right there. You're just like your dad, buddy." And I'm like, I don't know if it really had a lot of alcohol in that, though. Like, I don't think they mixed it the way you guys thought.
Yeah.
And I think they're just
you guys
already,
are drunk.
Yeah, they were already messed up. So, like, the more alcohol that they taste is going to be like, "Oh, I'm still fucked up," you know? Like, so it's hard because they're both trying to talk to me about something at the same time. And I really wanted to
Naturally.
talk about Carter about, like, music stuff because he was all up in it, and he was telling me about Fruity Loops and all the stuff that he used to use back in the day.
I eat Fruit Loops.
And then and then Roland was trying to talk to me about the podcast and stuff like that. He was loving it.
I
dude.
do that as well.
He is obsessed with it. And so he was like, "Dude, you guys are both so funny." He was like, "It just reminds me of if me and your dad had a podcast, it would be something like this." Like, yeah, shout out to Roland. If he's caught up and he's watching this, dude, you fucking rock. And so
Wait, he's The Rock?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
I knew that couldn't have been his name.
No, he's the brick. He's the shit brick. That's it. I love you, Roland. No,
You know
so,
what's funny? Borderlands has two characters, one named Roland, one named Brick.
Oh,
Out of 4 characters, by
Okay,
the way.
there we go.
So you hit 50% already.
that's awesome.
I'm going to show you a picture of Brick. And let me know if this guy looks exactly like him.
And so he's talking me up about the podcast. He loves it. He thinks we're both hilarious.
Good, because we are.
And he's just like, dude, really close. Really close. Yeah,
Really?
really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That is fucking weird.
Yeah, that's brick.
So he's talking me up about it, and then an hour passes, and I'm trying so hard to get back outside because my dad is sitting in the fucking car waiting for me.
Oh, he's still out there?
Yeah, he's just out in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm just sitting there like, yeah, this is a good conversation. And I didn't want to leave the conversation because it was good.
Yeah.
And we're talking about music stuff,
Dude,
and I'm showing them music stuff.
That
and I'm like,
anxiety had to have been crazy.
oh my God, it was through the roof. And my
Yeah.
alcoholic drink was gone, so I couldn't even be like, like.
Just breathing liquid.
Oh, and I didn't even mention this when we got in there and they gave us our heavies. There's this really, like, drop-dead gorgeous woman behind the counter, and she looked like she was maybe 2 years older than us at most.
Yeah.
And she was just beautiful. And so then she brings us our drinks, and Roland goes, hey, you know who this is? And he's like pointing at me, and he's like, you know who this guy is? You know what
He's got a
doing?"
podcast.
he did get there. But and so then as a joke, I'm thinking like, oh, we're doing a thing. And I'm like, yeah, you don't know who I am?
Oh, this is a bit.
Like, I'm thinking like, oh, we're going to pretend like I'm famous. And I'm like, you don't know you don't recognize me? You don't know who I am? And then Roland kind of looks back at me like, wait, is this what we're doing? Like, and so I was like, you don't know who I am? And then he goes, he's famous. And I go,
he just-
no.
He just dropped.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm not. And then they're like, this Colungus boy, and she's like, oh, really? Like, and then like kind of was like, this is cool. And then I was like, yeah. And then
They're
he's
like, yeah, get the fuck out.
and then as the conversation's about to dip back down, he goes, he's got a podcast, and I go, yeah, I do. And she goes, really? What's it called? And I go, Two Brains, One Cell. And she goes, oh, okay, that's cool. And
She
then,
did not even check it out.
And then Roland goes, yeah, show her the thing. And I'm like, what thing? What are you talking about? And so I had just given them my CK Beats stickers, and I was thinking maybe that's what he was thinking about, right? So I go to reach to my wallet in my back pocket, and I think, oh, maybe he means like on my phone, show her the thing. So I go to reach to my phone, and then Carter's showing her the sticker that I just gave him,
Oh.
and that's for my Beats thing.
Yeah.
And so then I pull out my wallet, I give him that sticker that he just gave to her, and then she keeps that one. And I was like, that's just my music stuff. You can keep that one. It's fine, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. And it was a fun little conversation. It was a little embarrassing, but it was fun.
Anyone ever goes, this guy is a podcast to me, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
Like,
So then me and my dad go to his place to take some shots or something. I can't remember what we did. We either had a beer, we took some shots or something like that, and then we were like, all right, we're going to try and walk to Park Tavern. Or we might have drove there first, and then they were closed because of Employee Appreciation Day. So then we went back to his house, had
you're
some shots.
telling me businesses outside of Utah appreciate their employees?
I guess so. So I took some shots or whatever, and then we walked to one that's nearby again, and it's called Pappy's Pub. And that one, it was like 10-ish o'clock or something like that. And
Did
so
you get a
then
banquet at that one?
we go and open the door, and they were closed.
Oh.
Like, there's people in there still enjoying it, but they're not letting anyone, like, in. So we're like, fuck. So then we go to the gas station, and we grab more beers, and then we go back to his place, and we just watch this movie called Dark City, which me and him had an argument about when we started.
I actually think I know that one. I watched like the first 75% as a kid.
It's
Is
like
it where
that-
they're underground?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's got like they stop time, and like that shit's all weird. It's almost like a Burton movie. Like it's
Yeah.
it's really old looking. Yeah. Never heard of it before. And so we got in an argument because he had this card on his table from his game, and it looked like the Truman Show walking up the steps, but it had some dude in a top hat and like what the Dark City people would wear.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's Truman Show. And he goes, no, that's Dark City, 100%. And I was like, no, the fuck it's not. It's literally the cloud wall with water reflecting the cloud wall with stairs camouflaged into the wall to a door. It is the exact scene from Truman Show. And I go, it is from Truman Show. And he goes, but the guy is from Dark City. And I'm like, okay, it is both of them, but I'm saying this part is from Truman Show. And he's like, no, it's Dark City. Like, he's not understanding what I'm saying. So I look up the picture of the Truman Show, and I put it down next to the card, and I go, and I just point to it. And he goes, fuck, okay. He's like, yeah, you got me there. And I was like, yes. I was like, I'm trying to tell you.
No shit.
It's both of them. I was just saying the background is Truman Show. That's all. Anyway, we watched Dark City, parts of it. And I find out that night that the podcast I listened to with the Workaholics guys is going on tour.
Nice.
And they announced their pre-sale is the day after this, so the next morning. And I go, holy shit. I start texting Braxton. I'm like, dude, these are going to be on pre-sale tomorrow. You need to go with me.
Is
Long
there a Utah
story-
show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So long story short, I tell him, I'm like, who knows when we're going to see this? I convince him, $50. We're about as close as we were for
That's
Bad
not,
Friends.
That's not bad.
We might be a little bit closer than Bad Friends. And so I was like, fuck yeah. So
50 ain't bad.
Yeah. So that next morning I wake up, I look at the tickets, and I call Braxton, and we talk it out, and then I buy the ticket. Fuck! I buy the tickets, and why?
We got a fucking metronome. Well, metronome time. Oh my god.
All right, I'm trying to like not take super long on these, but it's just there's so much that happened. So anyway, we go. My dad gets a haircut, and we're supposed to hang out with my sisters, and so I'm looking at all these weird like just drinks and stuff like that. Like I put one on my story called Dragon's Milk, and I said,
Yeah.
"Wow, first almonds, now dragons." I didn't even know dragons had titties.
That was
Like,
pretty good.
no one swiped up on that. Thought it was funny. So when we get back from that midday, and we take like 2 brain hemorrhage shots because we bought all this stuff at the liquor store, brought it back. He showed me how to make it. We took a shot. He had me make it. We took a shot. And then a little bit later, my sisters come by, or just the one sister comes by, and we go get boba at that ramen place I sent you that had all the
Nice.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
With all the sticky notes and the fun drawings and Cat in the Hat welcoming us. And so I drew a thing on there, and I just I put CK Beats on all platforms or something like that, and then I put 2 Brains 1 Cell podcast, and then I wrote Carsen under it or something like that. Stuck it on the wall. So we're on there. And then my sister drew something, and we just all drew something, slapped it on there, and I got like the popping boba. So fucking good. Then we go back, and I believe we just kind of then we get back, and my dad's friend is like walking. He kept trying to like meet up with us so I could see him again, and he's a really cool dude. So like it's fine, but like he just kept coming in at the worst times, and so I'm supposed to be spending time with my little sister, and he pops up. And I told my sister before we saw him, I was like, hey, if you're getting hungry, let's go over to Wayne's Burger. We can get some food. Or we could go to Subway. I've got gift card or something like that. Like, we can go get food if you get hungry.
Spubby.
And she was like, yeah, okay, that sounds fine with me. And I was like, sweet. And so we're walking back. And then, of course, he runs into us. And we go back to his place. And we're talking back and forth. Like, she's just sitting on the couch on her phone. And I felt so bad. And then my dad, who's barred from this brewery that's literally across the street from his house.
A brewery.
So he's not barred. It's just like there's tension between the people because his ex person works there, and then the owners of it are more on her side than his side, like, which is fair. You know, it's their employee. So so he respectfully stays away. That's about it.
Good for him.
Yeah. So my dad's like, we can't go in there, but you and P is what we call him. His name's Pearson, but we call him P. He's like, you and P can go.
He peed?
He P. So he's like, you guys can go to Rough Edges, and you guys can go, which I got a shirt
Yeah.
I'm going to wear for next pod.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I got a shirt. Shout them out. And so we go over there, and he's like, you can get this thing called a flight, where you just have samplers. It's a 4-shot sampler of, like, beers or whatever. And it's a brewery, so it's all in-house stuff.
Love that.
Yeah. And so I get in there, and I say hi to his ex, who, like, loved my music stuff. She's still super supportive. Very nice to me. She's always wanted to meet me. And they just have this on and off thing. So, like, it's hard to call her an ex because there's just on and off. So
There's just tension.
yeah. So I go say hi, and I meet the owners, and I'm like, yeah, I'm from Utah. And, like, I was like, I haven't really tried much, so I'm excited. And he's like, well, what do you like? And I was like, I love IPAs. I'm good with IPAs. I really only, like, the biggest beer I've had, like, is a Coors Banquet. Like, that's my main thing. And, like, that's really anything that I know. And he was like, all right. And he's telling me, like, all this kind of tips for whenever I go somewhere and I want to get, like, an IPA or something, ask for the freshest IPA because the longer it sits, the more like just bitter and like it's not the best, you know, because the IPAs are better when they're fresh and all this. And
Makes sense.
give me tips and stuff, and so I give them both a sticker, and they're like, sweet, we'll throw it up here, and they have a giant freezer that's got tons of stickers on it, and they're not even tons, like it's only got a strip of their banners, kind of, and they're going to put it on there.
Fuck yeah.
And so they're going to put my sticker on there. I give stickers to a lot of people out there.
Good.
But so then I try the flight. Super good. I'm talking to P about football, like the new fantasy stuff coming out. I told him when I played in a tornado, when I played football in a tornado. And
Told him about when you were in a tornado.
yeah.
That was nuts.
And I told him about the earthquake that hit us and all this kind of stuff. And then we end up walking back, and my sister's still there, luckily, but
Nice.
not for long. So I kind of just a little bit buzzed, and I'm walking in there, and there's a quarter on the floor. This is useless, but I got to say it because it's really funny. There's a quarter on the floor, which you need those to play pool.
Yeah.
So there's a quarter on the floor, and I pick it up. I'm like, holy cow, these just fall off of Dad. And I set them on the coffee table. The second that I set it on the coffee table, I go to walk away, and one shoots across the floor out of nowhere. And so then I go, what the heck? And she looks over at me, and I go, did you see that? She's like, yeah. And I was like, where did that come from? And she goes, I have no idea. And I was like, it's like, what the? And then I set that one up, and I see another one on the floor, and so I picked that one up. There's 75 cents now that I found on the floor.
You're the fucking quarter duplicator.
Well,
or
I
some
put it
shit.
I put it on the table, and I was like, these fall off of him like Sonic just got hurt. Like he's just dropping these things. Like it's, and so I'm making jokes, and I go up, and I go to the bathroom or something. I come back down, and I talk with her, and then she leaves, and then me and my dad go to Pappy's finally. We walk down there, and we play pool on this weird table. It was like an all-black felt table with like lights on it and stuff.
Interesting.
Very weird. So we play at Pappy's. We get some drinks. Then, yeah, we played beer. I had 4 beers.
You played beer?
I played beer.
Damn.
Yeah. And we got to play like songs and stuff like that. So I think before we left, I'm sure we took more hemorrhage shots, and we took an Irish hand grenade. And then we went and had 4 beers each.
Nice.
And so that was the night. I think that was the only night that I actually got like drunk, and it wasn't even that drunk.
You got tipsy.
Yeah. And so then we go back to Park Tavern after that. We have 4 beers, and we walk to Park Tavern. Like, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're huffing it. And so we just walk this shit to Park. And it's not that far, but it's like we're in the opposite direction. So we have to go past his house, which we stop and have more shots.
Oh, my
then
God.
go past his house to Park Tavern, where it is full as shit.
My liver is quivering.
Yeah,
just hearing
dude.
This.
And so it is full as shit in there, which we stopped there earlier in the day before we went to Pappy's, and it was full as shit.
Oh.
And so that's why we went to Pappy's. Then we went from Pappy's there again, still full as shit.
Nice.
So then my dad recognizes someone, and we go over there and we say hi to him, and then my dad orders, or the guy offers to get me a shot for my birthday.
Nice.
And he gets an Old Bay jalapeno, or no, it's an Old Bay like Tapatio something shot. And
why is it spicy?
that shit burned but tasted so good. And then we got an apple pie shot from this really, really pretty college lady. Yeah, she was
Nice.
really pretty. She was really nice, and she bought me a shot. It was an apple pie shot, and then I drank it. I'm drunk at this point. I'm drunk, and I go over and I give all of her college friends the rest of my stickers that are in my wallet, and I only had like 3 or 4 left. And so I'm just like, yeah, check this out. I'm on the music. And then he's like, I'll check it out if you buy us another round of drinks. And I was like, if the next time I come out here and you have proof that you've listened to my music, I will buy you a round of drinks. And he was like, okay, deal.
Never gonna see this guy.
Yeah, there's no way I'm ever going to see him again. But
No.
he has one of my stickers. Who cares what the fuck he does with it?
True.
He'll probably stick it somewhere that gets peeled off or throw it away or something.
Something
But
like that.
it was fun, to get that out there. And so the one that I gave Roland ended up in Ocean City, Maryland, near like the actual ocean. And because he went out there to go visit his mom, I believe, and he stuck that sticker.
What a Chad.
Yeah, he stuck that sticker out there on like a picnic table or something. So
Dude, we're everywhere now because of this.
yeah, we just need one in California, and we'll be coast to coast.
Oh, my God. I'm
Um,
going to California next January.
yeah. Perfect. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I talked them up. I'm drunk as shit. I don't even remember what I even said to them after that.
Probably something like,
Then we walked home, tried to watch more Dark City, and I passed out again. Next day, we go to my dad's work.
Doesn't sound like it was a very good fucking movie.
It's a good movie. It was like always playing it after we had a lot of drinks and I'm about to pass out.
Yeah.
And so then the next morning we go to my dad's work. He wants to introduce me to his friend, like the work friends and stuff, which he works with like this like hay baling. Like they ship stuff in train cars to them and they take it out and put it in like whatever and then they put it on trucks. So they're just kind of like a transition point.
Just a port.
Kind of. And I didn't want to admit this, but I shit my pants while we were there. We were walking around outside, and he was, like, showing me the graffiti and stuff on all this kind of stuff, and we're walking about to go inside, and I fart, and it was more than a fart. Yeah. I was going to leave it out, but I feel like we're real here. We got to be real.
Got to be real.
I shat myself. And at the moment that it happened, I was just kind of sitting there, and I went to, like, and I went, and I was all, face dropped. I was like, so we go back inside. I go into the bathroom, and I wipe my ass, and I check my pants, and it's not like any on my pants, but I did shit my ass.
There's a nugget.
It was liquid. It was all that drinking.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
It was all that drinking, dude.
You want to know what that? That's just me eating bread.
Yeah. And so after we say hi to them, we have some lunch.
I love that the metronome's still going.
Yeah. I hope that's not recording that.
I would probably kill myself if.
If it is, then we'll use camera audio, and then we'll figure it out when this cuts.
True.
So then we have some good lunch. We talk with them. He shows me this place in Utah that this guy went to for skiing. His boss went to for skiing, and it's so cool. You literally go through a cave in the mountain.
Yeah.
So sick.
I love that.
Didn't know it existed.
A lot of resorts try to do that, but
Yeah.
they haven't been able to because no snow. But now they can.
Yeah. And so, so
What did you eat last night?
hummus.
Okay.
So then we go to Prohibition Pub in Maryland, and it's this really old one that looks like it was a speakeasy. I think it said that it used to be a speakeasy.
Oh.
It's really cool. I took a picture in there, put it on my story. I've got some pictures of me and my dad out there that I could put too. We didn't get any drinks. We just stopped by for a minute. I didn't want to have a drink. Then we go back to his house, and I try to take a nap. And then we head to Baltimore to go to the concert.
Nice.
So this was last minute. It was Des said that she found a Groupon. It's $20 a ticket for grass seats. And so we were like, shit, yeah, let's fucking take it, dude. $40 and we get to go see all of these headliner bands, So we're like, fuck yeah. So we go and we can't find parking. We're shit. We're both getting irritated.
Yeah.
And then we find parking and it's like 20 minutes till doors open. And you know how I am. So I'm like, fuck, we're not going to get a good seat in the grass. So then we get there, and then my dad's he just can't pull up the tickets correctly. And granted, we didn't know that, it had two sections. So you click on a ticket, you scan it, right? You go back out, you click on the other ticket. But it said it was the same ticket, and it wasn't scanning both of them, so it was really weird. So we get back in there. We go over to the front where you buy tickets, and she swipes it. And she goes, did you try this side? And we were like, are you fucking kidding me? So we were like, no, just give it back. We're going to try that because we definitely didn't do that. So we get it, we swipe it, we get in, and we get to the merch counter, and they've got everything, dude. They've got blankets, they've got lighters, they've got koozies, they've got fucking shirts, sweaters, hats, anything you can think of, they had it up there.
Damn.
And the bitch, two people in front of us, was getting every single thing. Blankets, shirts, hats, koozies, everything I just listed.
Fucking expensive.
She is getting all of it. And I am sitting there in the middle of the sun, sweating my dick off.
Yeah.
And I am getting so pissed off that this bitch is taking this long. Hey.
God damn it.
The camera got that one for sure.
Well, yeah, it was into it.
I farted inside the camera.
Carsen tooted.
So they're buying literally everything on the fucking menu. And I'm sitting there just pissed off beyond, because everything's not going right. And I can tell the grass is going to be filling up and whatever. And I got to pee really bad. So all of
the
this
Holy
combined,
Trinity.
Yeah, we finally get up there and I get a shirt. And I go to the bathroom. I buy myself 2 waters.
Nice.
Because it's hot.
Yep.
And I just emptied the tank, so I was like, I'm fine. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to get a beer. And I was like, okay. So we get over there. Or it was when I was buying the waters or something like that. And I was like, I don't think I want a beer because my body's still going to be putting liquid shits out for a while. I don't want to shit my pants again.
Yeah.
So we start walking towards the grass area, and I'm pointing. I'm like, maybe we should try and get to the shady part right there where it's closer to the front so we can see into the venue where they're at. And then we get stopped, and this lady's like, "Hey, where are you guys sitting tonight?" And we're like, "Oh, we're just trying to get over to the grass." And she's like, "Do you guys want free pit tickets?" And we go, she's like, "Yeah, we got free upgrades if you want to go to the pit." And we were like,
Yeah.
"Free pit tickets?" And she and my dad, and we were both like, "For
Dumbfounded,
what?
yeah.
Like, do we got to sign up for something, kind of thing, you know?" And she's like, "Well, we can put you in the pit, or we can put you in section 203, which is right down here." And we were like, pit, yeah, pit ticket, yeah, pit
Hey,
tickets.
that
You wanna
works
take
for
that?
us.
We'll
Yeah,
take the pit
honestly,
tickets,
I'm
yeah.
okay with that.
And so then she gives us the tickets. We walk straight down to the pit. They give us wristbands, and we go right in.
What?
Yeah. And the area that we were in for this entire concert, like, it would fill in and then, like, disperse. The entire time, we had a pocket. No one was touching us.
Oh my.
We would lean up against the concrete, like, thing that was behind us if we needed to, like, take a break. Every time there was in between people, we'd sit down, or my dad would go smoke and I'd sit down. And so we were up front, dude. And
Yeah.
I gotta see Sublime with Rome because their lead singer passed away. I gotta see Slightly Stupid. I gotta see Atmosphere, and I gotta see The Movement.
Nice.
Which all of them I have saved music from every single one of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like seeing Sublime was insane,
fucking
dude.
cool.
It was insane. And like the last song, they brought out a dog on the stage throwing a tennis ball, and you see it, and immediately you see me go, "Puppy, puppy!" And the dog's chasing the tennis ball, and then like they're saying hi. Like the video I have is the dog's ass on the screen, and then like so the first people that came out was The Movement, and they bring out this guy Charlie Tuna, who I'm obsessed with, and I've shown you the song forever ago, so I don't expect you to remember it.
I love to.
But he's got really deep voice, and he's the song that I love the most. He comes out and he goes, "Welcome to Terra Dome. I'm your host, the friendly neighborhood baritone," and he's just got this really really low voice, and like the chorus is like, "Who are you? I'm Charlie Tuna," and it's like this whole. It's so fucking sick. So they bring him on stage, and I am losing my shit. Like, "Oh my god, it's Charlie Tuna!" Like, "Oh my god." And
People
so,
that don't know who he is. Why is this guy screaming about tuna?
yeah, and like that's the thing is they bring out Charlie Tuna, and some people are kind of doing it, and I'm running into the crowd like, "Whoa, my god!" And so I'm taking this video, and then Atmosphere comes out, and I get 3 of my favorite songs by him play back to back. And so I got all of those videos, and I'm sure you've heard it. He's got the ones like Sunshine, Sunshine. Yeah. So that one played, and which I'm going to be saying yeah a lot because of my dad. Yeah, I keep doing that. So just bear with me when I do that.
I'm gonna start doing it now.
So then Sublime comes out. They play a million songs, and all of them bangers. And then Slightly Stupid comes out, and they play just so many great songs again. And they didn't play the one that I wanted the most. It's called Coley Man. It is the one I am most obsessed with. But I was okay with it because they played plenty of other songs I wanted to see. And then at the end of the show, they go off stage, and then instead of doing like an encore thing, they just come back, and they're dressed up as the Beastie Boys, and they do a Beastie Boys cover, and they are fucking rocking it. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really catchy. I can show you the video after, but it is fucking amazing.
I love the
and
Beastie
they
Boys.
are crushing it. Like, they had a dude playing like a set of bongos in the background for the whole concert. He comes in and he's like, "The what to style," and they're like just going in on that shit. Like, holy fuck, it was amazing.
I love that.
And so me and him at the end of the night, we're just like, holy, and they're throwing pics, and they're like after they're done off stage, they're like packing everything up. They're throwing pics off stage. They're giving out set lists. They're giving out all sorts of stuff, and I'm sitting there like, me, please.
You never stop being the kid asking for candy at a parade.
And it's the last time I was out there, I got to go to the Baltimore Orioles baseball game, and I got a game ball from one of the players on top of a free jersey. So I was like, let this be the same instance.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was very sad, but it was all right. And then
He was in pit.
yeah, it was a pit. It was fine.
It was
So then this old guy, dude, like, so, okay, never mind. We'll get to that. Not quite there yet. So anyway, we get done with the concert, and we head back, and it's pretty late. So, like, the whole ride back, I was just putting on song after song that I was just going. I was singing. I didn't give a fuck what he wanted to hear. And a lot of it was stuff that he showed me. So I'd be like, "You remember this one, Big Gay?" And then I'd just be like, "Yeah, that bet," and just start going off with it and everything. And, like, I was so hyped. So then we get to, let's see, trying to remember.
That was very beautiful.
Yeah, so we get back to his place, and I am tired of shit, and I decide to do all of the dishes in his sink and dishwasher because it is broken. And he needed to get it done before both my sisters came over the next day, and I was like, dude, our dishwasher's broken. I've been doing it. Before I even came out here, I'll wash the dishes. You just got to put them away after they're dried, and he's fine. So he goes upstairs, takes a shower, whatever the fuck, and I'm doing the dishes, and I get done, fall asleep. Next day, we go to a diner with my sisters, and it's this one little diner that looks like those old school diners that looks like it's from like the 70s or like 60s kind of thing, like old school diner.
Yeah.
And it's in one of those all silver trailers looking thing that they built. Like, so they parked it there, and then they made that a foundation and then built the diner off of that.
Minecraft.
Yeah. And so it looks sick as fuck, and everything inside still has the same old decor. There's a jukebox that they converted into this thing that we don't have in Utah called Touch Tunes. You download the app and you get like credits and you can put a song on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's basically the same idea as a jukebox, but you can do it from your phone.
Modernized.
Yeah. And
so I would still put on Funky Town 18 times.
And so we get there and great food. We go back, take a little break. We go get more boba.
Nice.
Put more sticky notes on the wall.
Nice.
And we hang out for a little bit, and then we do the tortilla slap thing with the water in the mouth because we saw all of my cousins and everyone do it in Texas, but we didn't get to. Yeah. So we did it, and it was so funny because I've got a bunch of videos. I'll have to try and clip what I can out of it because I have like 2-minute video, like 8 2-minute videos.
Nice.
So I'll have to clip what I can to throw in there. Then me and my dad again take more shots. We go to Park Tavern, have 3 beers, play a little bit of pool, go back to his house, have another brain hemorrhage shot, then go to Pappy's, and then we have 2 more beers, and there's a live band there. So we have 2 more beers while we're playing pool. There's a live band playing, and they're doing covers and stuff of really good songs.
Did you post something about that? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. I might have somewhere. I had to look through all my shit.
I know. I haven't heard any of this yet, so I'm just matching it to all the Snap stories.
Which I can
saw.
go through. Yeah, I can go through and like point out after this. But so then they have a live band there, and this dude, as soon as we get in there, is doing like a 10-minute fucking drum solo.
Nice.
And like I gotta say, it was nuts. But like
10 minutes is a long
10
time
minutes
for
is a
drums.
lot of time to just hear drums.
Yeah. After a while, it just sounds like someone's fucking your brain.
Well, and it was long enough that like the bassist and the lead singer guitarist walked off the stage and sat down while he was doing the drum solo. So
I was about to say, did they like go order a drink?
they could have. And then so we get done playing pool. We say hi to some of the people that he knows there. Then we walk over to go outside and hang out on the patio area.
Nice.
Some old dude is out there by himself. And he was like, "You guys hear that drummer in there?" He's like raving about him. He's like, "You see that drummer? That was nuts." And we were like, "Yeah, that was crazy, man. Like, he was going on it." And then he was like, "Yeah." He's like, you should come in here, sit with me. We can like." And so my dad, like, I was just gonna be on my phone still because I was gonna show him. I was talking about Studio Ghibli with him, like how he should watch us. Never seen a single thing.
Huh.
He loves anime stuff, and I'm like, "You haven't seen this shit?"
How? Yeah.
And I mean, I was the same way, so I don't blame him. But I was like, "You got to watch these with my sisters," and they just announced a new one for.
You
like,
told me about that,
with the release in America and everything. So I was trying to show him that stuff, and then the old guy invites us to go sit with him, and my dad's like, "This is how you get free drinks. Come on, let's go."
Oh.
So then we go in and we sit with him, and we listen while they do some stuff, and both of us are just kind of like, "Yeah, this is great, man," and like looking at him.
Music.
And then he's like tapping our shoulders. He's like, "Let's say something about the band or whatever." And then the band gets off stage. And the old guy follows the drummer out there to just go talk to him. And I was like, "Damn, good luck, my guy."
Yeah.
And my dad goes over and gets a drink from some other people that he recognized and then comes back. And he's like, "Where did he go?" And I was like, "Out there with the drummer." And he goes, "Oh, fuck. Well, let's go over here." And I was like, "Okay." And so then we go over and I get a drink with him. And that thing's gone so quick.
Nice.
And then we are walking out the bar. We went and talked to the person that is one of the owner's wives or something like that, and she used to work there. And we were talking, and then my dad was like, "Hey, did you go put your sticker over there?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Well, why not?" And I was like, "Because there's a lady sitting there, like the person that checks IDs and everything and makes sure you pay the cover charge is sitting right there facing it." And I was like, "I don't want to do that in front of her." And she goes, and then my dad goes, "Well," and then he turns around and he goes, "Hey, how would it go if maybe we put up one of my son's stickers for his music stuff?" And she goes, "You got a sticker right now?" And I go, "Yeah, I got this one." And she takes it out of my hand. She walks over, and I look at my dad, and he goes, "Go with her."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." And so I follow her over there, and she takes it off and flips it upside down and smacks it on the board. And I was like,
Okay.
all right. And
It's
then we
that
walk
easy.
over, and I was like, "Thank you so much." And then we walk over, say our goodbyes, peace out. Old guy sticker. We walk home, and my dad does another Irish hand grenade. and that is
That
where the
is-
shit hits the fan.
That's where I get to keep going, and you
Yeah.
don't, fuckos.
But I will say, my dad. So he's got this thing in his knee right now where 2 pieces of bone fragments are floating around between his kneecap.
oh, that
It's in
sounds
the cartilage in there.
sounds not painful at all.
And then his kneecap is all like jagged and like will grind against stuff, and so he's gonna go get surgery with that
so
soon.
he just has a built-in grinder.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
sick as
Yeah,
fuck.
dude. I'm trying to think if there's very much else on this. I did go, like the way home was just one flight to Denver, then home.
Nice.
Wasn't too bad. I can't remember if there's very much else. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I really want to talk about, but because there's a time crunch, I'm gonna stop it there.
You made me worried as fuck, by the way, on the way home, because you had just been telling me about this traumatic thing just happened to you, and then I couldn't get in contact with you because you were on fucking planes.
Yeah.
I was just like, is he okay?
I know. After I put that on my story, I was like, I really shouldn't have done that. But I was like, I needed to just put that out there so that I could be like I needed to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to tell my mom or else she would be losing her shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to tell, there's just not very many people that I wanted to tell in the moment.
It's another hummus fart.
I was just like, I got to get this out now. And then I'll tell everyone, later on, which we might, if I feel like telling it, because it is very interesting. And my dad said, if you talk about that, you got to let me know so I can listen to it, because he doesn't remember anything that happened.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Fuck. Uh-oh.
Oh, I did one last thing, I guess. My dad has is he one of the people where you would open the fridge and there's 6 things total, and then he's got a lot of canned foods and stuff, and all of it is something that you definitely could eat, but it's just mainly my sisters. I was like, me and him can do whatever we want with the food, but when he has his sisters over, we got to make sure that they eat. So I was like, I'm not going to eat anything from his stuff, even if he offers it to me, unless he makes it himself and tells me to try it, and then I will eat it. So the first morning when we were there, he made me eggs and chopped up fruit for me and stuff, which was super
Nice.
nice. Then the night that I gave the college people where we got really messed up, he made ranch style beans or something like that with a bunch of cheese and just
Fuck.
so good. But anyway, there's this gas station next to his house called Rutter's, and we'd walk down there or we'd drive down there, and every time we were in there, if I was hungry, I would just get this Italian wrap, because it's not like a gas station. It's almost like
Almost a grocery store?
yeah, where there's they have people there almost 24/7 that can make you food.
Okay.
So it doesn't just close down at like 6 o'clock.
that's awesome.
We were there one night at 11 o'clock, and they were still in the kitchen making stuff, and they have a fresh bakery thing in there, and it's like a gas station. They still do gas, and there's an entire
Dude, gas station, there are such big companies outside of Utah. Have you ever heard of Buc-ee's?
yeah.
Oh my fucking god, it's a
nuts.
whole franchise.
Well, and now Walmart has their gas station thing out there.
Fuck,
So
I need to go there.
But so I get this Italian wrap every time, and so it's not just that really shitty Maverick it's been out there for who knows how long kind of thing. It was freshly made. It shows when they made the wrap and everything on it, and so I just get that and maybe a bag of chips.
Nice.
But that was it, and I only had 1 or 2 energy drinks the entire time I was out there, and
oh my god, shut the fuck up.
and yeah, but I gotta say, I'm not gonna specify which places this happened at, but I think I only got ID'd at the gas station, and that was it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but
Yep.
maybe these other places did ID me, and so they definitely made sure, for sure.
For
But
sure.
some other places that maybe I didn't mention didn't. So, but that's basically my diet was either if someone bought me food or my dad made it, I would be eating Italian wraps and chips the entire time.
Well, if it was good, it was good.
It was good. It worked. It was fine. My stomach was a little iffy on it, but it worked fine. After that one night, that one day, I was completely fine after that.
You just gotta accept that your gut is just not gonna be all right for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I was fine. After a little bit, I was fine. And but yeah, I'll stop talking about it.
Speaking of guts, I got something to rumble in.
Make sure you guys buy stickers.
Yeah, buy
please.
stickers, please.
Still not happening. I keep putting it as our description in the YouTube and Spotify thing. It says buy a sticker. Why haven't you bought a sticker? Buy a sticker. Buy a damn sticker.
Buy a sticker.
And that's it goes more in each episode that comes out. So
Nice.
But yeah, so buy a sticker, please.
Do
I've
that.
got a big project coming out soon with beats and stuff. I showed Cade the first half of it today, and I honestly got to say I am pretty proud of it. I accidentally put it the Clouds one coming out next week.
Oh.
And I don't think I'll be able to change that because of the way that the edits don't go for like a week in advance, and it might not even change. Like I changed the title for it, and today I changed it on like before I left. I changed and so then I changed it recently, and then it I don't know. So it takes forever for edits to happen. So it might just have to come out next week, and I'm just gonna have to accept it.
Yeah.
But then the rest of them I'm gonna wait and release as an album. So
Nice.
there's that little thing. I'm gonna have an album come out soon. But
Yes, sir. And what? You're on Spotify?
do you want to talk about that call you got, or do you want to save it?
It's quick, yeah.
Yeah.
We were just sitting here. I was showing him videos, and randomly I start getting a call. I don't recognize the number. It said a name underneath, so I'm going to look up that name after this and see if the person's an idiot. And they said, "Is this Braden?" And I just say, "No." I just say, "No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not my name." And then they go on to go like, "All right, if you are Braden, this is Taco Bell, and we just want to let you know that you are banned from any and all Taco Bells forever." And I just say, "Did you miss the part where I said no?"
You missed the part where I said I wasn't Braden.
Yeah, did you miss that?
And then you said something about because you got a new number that.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I've already had this thing of people thinking my name is Braden. It's a new number." Type thing. And then they're just like, "Oh, sorry about that." I'm like, and then because I'm me, I just go, "Wait, so am I still allowed to go to Taco Bell?"
It was the funniest fucking thing, and then they just go, "Yeah."
Yeah, you can go to Taco Bell. I could hear him start laughing as we were ending the call. I'm like, "This is not
And then he
Taco
hangs
Bell."
up, and I was fucking dying because what a weird thing. And we discussed it after, like, how would Taco Bell get someone's number?
Unless it's like reward.
And
number,
like, it was
but-
the weirdest thing ever. But the fact that you were just like, "Am I still allowed to go to Taco Bell?" And they were like, "Yeah," and you're like, "Okay."
Oh, thank God.
And then they hang up. I was fucking losing my
I literally
mind.
cannot eat at Taco Bell.
It was so fucking funny.
Just because straight face. Well, it was over the phone, so straight voice. It was pretty funny.
As opposed to gay voice.
Yes.
Well, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks. If you're on Spotify, Carson was just talking about it. CK Beats. Make sure you check that out. But if you're listening to Two Brains One Cell on Spotify, make sure you give us 5 stars.
Yes.
And leave a review, leave a comment. Let's do that Q&A. Let's get that. Let's get those numbers going, baby. And after that, after you've checked out both of those on Spotify, go hop on over to YouTube. You can do that. I know you can. I don't know you can, but I really hope you do, because if you can't, that's a little embarrassing. But get on YouTube. Go to the search bar, Two Brains One Cell Pod. If you're already there, good fucking job, buddy. And make sure you like the episode. Leave a comment. Sorry, Discord crashed. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's the most important one. Post notifications. You never know when we're going to do wacky, crazy shit, because it's random to even us.
Yep.
And while you're on YouTube, make sure to hop on over to CK Beats once again, because why not?
New stuff every Wednesday.
Yep, that is where the new stuff gets posted.
Yep.
Every Tuesday for Spotify, Wednesday for YouTube. Not that difficult to follow, right?
Boom.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday's when the pod comes out. That's
Yep.
crazy. It's as if he did it on purpose.
What?
That's nuts. But yeah, anyways, thank you for listening to this episode. It was fun for me to hear.
Yeah,
what
I was going to
happened.
say, thank you for letting me talk for an entire episode
Dude,
again.
Made my job fucking easy, and I liked that. I could just pop in with a shitty joke every 5 minutes. It was just so great. But no, it was fun to hear about it, and I get to hear about more of it. Get fucked, idiots.
Yep. We start a
And,
Patreon and do that after.
And just show the picture of your shitted pants.
I could have started us a Patreon that's free right now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. We can start a Patreon that you don't have to subscribe to. Like it's free.
Yeah.
You still subscribe to us, but it's free. And then if we wanted to implement money later on, we could do that.
None of our fans would go.
Well, no, and
Yeah.
it would just be fun if we wanted to do like extra stuff, like say we record me talking about that whole thing afterwards and put that on there as a separate thing. They would have to go to Patreon to hear that, you know?
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
We'll get there eventually. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your week. be safe. Don't die, because that's one less follower for us.
Yeah, we need that. At least keep your YouTube going if you're gonna die.
At least.
So we can keep the subscriber, but
we need
the
it.
viewer will go down. But just don't die.
Just don't.
Just don't do it, please.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you.
No, we got it. We got one.